Hello there, I'm Peter Judge. I'm the Labour and Cooperative candidate for Rastrick in the forthcoming local elections to Calderdale Council. I'm about to embark on a whistle-stop tour of our lovely area of Rastrick. And you might ask why I'm starting here. Well, I'm on Long Ridge, and as you can see, it's got great views over parts of Rastrick. And the other reason I wanted to start here is because this is where my journey in Rastrick started. In 1988, my wife and I and our then little baby daughter moved back to Yorkshire, and we chose to move to Rastrick, and we chose to live further around here on Long Ridge. So I'm going to move on now to Woodhouse Lane, but in doing so, as you'll know, I have to cross the Huddersfield Road, and I'm going to pause there just to talk about some of the great plans for the Huddersfield Road. So thank you very much for listening. I'll be back. I'd like to thank Tracy Brabin, the Mayor of West Yorkshire, and the West Yorkshire Combined Authority, because they've secured funds for what is called the A641 corridor improvements. Now, in areas like this, we're going to get new pedestrian crossings and things like that. Down at Brighouse itself, they're going to alter the junction just before Brighouse Town Centre on the A641. But there's some other great news that I'm very chuffed about, and that is that as part of the A641 corridor improvements, we're going to get a new bridge on the A643 over the canal at Brighouse. So hopefully, on my Whistles Top tour, I can talk to you about that a little bit more later on. So one more comment that I do intend to make, though, is that apparently they're also considering creating a new motorway junction on the A641 where it crosses the M62 just half a mile, 3/4 of a mile that way. An improvement I would like to see first before that is down at Birdsroyd Lane, but again I'll talk about that later. So thanks for listening. I'm now going to go along to Woodhouse Lane, as I mentioned earlier. Thank you very much. And hello again. I'm continuing my whistle-stop tour of Rastrick, and as you can see, I'm here on Woodhouse Lane. Near to the local convenience store, excellent little shop and post office. I particularly wanted to talk to people here because I know that a lot of the residents here are very concerned about the ongoing local plan where there's likely to be new housing developments just to the left-hand side as I'm stood here of Woodhouse Lane on the fields there. I want to assure residents that if I'm your councillor, I will scrutinise very thoroughly any planning applications, and I will want to see high quality plans that build in all the infrastructure we need, that make sure there's schools if they are needed, we make sure there's plenty of open spaces and still plenty of opportunities for people to walk into the countryside from here. I'm now here at the Birdsroyd Industrial Estate, as you can see. The reason I wanted to come here is I just wanted to talk about the access to the motorway junction at Wakefield Road. That junction is only about half a mile from here as the crow flies, but of course you'd have to cross the river to get to the junction. But at the moment I'm told that HGVs can take upwards of 20 minutes. I've heard of tales of HGVs taking 30 or 40 minutes to get from the motorway junction round the edge of Brighouse, almost into town centre as you know, up Huddersfield Lane and down to their premises on Birdsroyd. So if I'm elected as your councillor, I will be asking the Calderdale Council to approach the West Yorkshire Combined Authority to try and secure funds, and let's try and get a better, more simple access to the M62 here. Now, I would think that that would obviate the need for a new motorway junction up on Huddersfield Road, because it will take all these HGVs from here straight onto the motorway on a roughly half-mile route. So thanks very much, and please vote Labour on May the 2nd. Thank you. I'm here at Brighouse Railway Station. A lot of you will know that I'm a big campaigner for improvements to public transport network. And as such, I am pleased to see that the West Yorkshire Combined Authority under the West Yorkshire Mayor Tracy Brabin are about to bring the bus services back under proper regulation. And in fact, we've already seen some slight improvements in Rastrick, which I'll talk about later. But I'm also really pleased that the next Labour government will be taking the railway industry in its entirety back into public ownership. This will not just be good for the staff in the railway industry, and we would hope to see much better industrial relations under a publicly owned rail network, but of course it's absolutely vital for the travelling public to have a seamless public transport network on the railways that all works together instead of being this company, that company, and things like fares would be able to be better controlled and hopefully kept down. I'm on Rastrick Common now, and there's been, thanks to the West Yorkshire Combined Authority and the West Yorkshire Mayor Tracy Brabin, there's been some improvements to the 549 and 548 bus service between Brighouse and Huddersfield. Unfortunately, as part of that process, we've lost an evening bus service along Rastrick Common here. So if I'm elected as your local councillor, I will be working with the council and West Yorkshire Combined Authority to get a replacement bus service up Rastrick Common and Crowtrees Lane for in the evenings to replace the service that's been lost. I'm here at top of town in Rastrick. We've got a great little shopping street here. We even have a dentist, an NHS dentist. I mention that because the next Labour government will start the difficult job of fixing the NHS. As you can see, it's a very busy road, and as you will know, this is actually the A643, and it is, as you will know, the road from Brighouse up to the Ainley Top motorway junction. And that's why I want to mention this briefly again. As you'll know, back down at the Brighouse end, the A643 currently runs over Anchor Bridge, wholly inadequate. As part of the A641 corridor improvements, the West Yorkshire Combined Authority and West Yorkshire Mayor have come up with a plan to put a new bridge across the canal to straighten out the A643 at that point. So I've been campaigning for that for a long time, and if I'm elected as your councillor, I will continue to campaign, and let's see what I call a ring road, the Brighouse Ring Road. Let's see a Brighouse Ring Road done. So thank you, and please vote Labour on May the 2nd. Thank you.